who they're talking to. I want to bring you, speaking of children, they told us that Tren de Aragua was just in a few apartment complexes, but it looks like they're all over the country, including New York City. A 12-year-old, an entire gang attacked our cops here in New York City, and then they just released them. What are you going to be doing to get these folks behind prison walls? Because apparently they're just released in New York City.
Yeah, and Lawrence, that's such a shame that they're doing that. It's endangering the lives of citizens, and it's endangering the lives of law enforcement officers when they're doing this. You can't comprehend that cities and states would be so demented to do something like this, to let these violent criminals. Tren de Aragua is a terrorist organization. Sinaloa is a terrorist organization. MS-13 is a terrorist organization for a reason. They are highly organized. They are highly violent. They're targeting Americans. They're killing Americans. They're raping Americans. They're bringing guns into this country, no longer under Donald Trump. And we will bring in any resources. Homeland Security Director Noam has been amazing, working with ICE, Tom Homan, and all of our DEI, FBI agents, ATF agents, U.S. Marshals, working hand in hand. We will get these people off our streets.
What's going on, everybody? Thank you all for joining me today. If you haven't already, please make sure you hit the like button, subscribe to the channel if you're new to the channel, and most importantly, please make sure that you are following me on Telegram at TD Media Group to help circumvent social media censorship and shadow banning. With the introduction out of the way, let's get into today's news. And today, ladies and gentlemen, we have to head over to New Venezuela, not to speak about Big Tisch, but to speak about a group of illegal immigrant teenage gang members that attacked the NYPD. I believe it was in the middle of Times Square, if I'm not mistaken. This is crazy. Let's get into this for some more details. I want to pull this video up right now, this clip from Tom Homan on Fox News, where they speak on this and they break this down a little bit more. This group of illegal immigrant teenagers are part of an offshoot of Tren de Aragua called, if I remember correctly, Los Diablos de 42, which means the devils of 42nd Street, if I remember correctly. We're looking at the presence of gangs right now that did not exist pre-Biden, but are here as a result of Biden's deliberate open border policies. The man-made migrant crisis. You have gangs running around New York, not only terrorizing the citizens of New York, but even terrorizing the NYPD. And these are people that would not have been here had Joe Biden not have opened the borders. And as we discussed in yesterday's stream, or I should say yesterday's video, concerning the MS-13 riot that occurred in a Virginia prison that led to multiple correctional officers being stabbed. They're all in stable condition now. Everybody's going to live and make it. But as we discussed then, this is what makes these circumstances and situations so frustrating and upsetting, because I don't want to be the dead horse, but once again, you're talking about people that shouldn't even be here. And you have DNC lunatics that are making it borderline impossible to get them out. And when we get into the details of what Tom Homan is getting ready to discuss here concerning the insanity of sanctuary cities and what's happening right now with the NYPD, where they were once working with Homan in criminal investigations surrounding illegal immigrants. That's something that kind of happened quietly, right? We knew that they were going to be working together because Mayor Eric Adams stated that him and Tom Homan clearly were going to be working together. Quietly, they were working together. It wasn't really something that was broadcasted, the feds and the NYPD working together. But now it looks like the police chief is going to pull back the reins on the NYPD working with ICE, and you're not going to believe why. So let's get into this clip with Tom Homan right now.
Is Tom Homan, White House Borders are. Tom, it's great to see you. I've got to ask you about the breaking news that we played at the top of the show, replayed in the angle, the video of this this illegal alien gang and all teens attacking police in Times Square. They're not even trying to hide it. We were told they're part of this group called Los Diablos 42, kind of an offshoot of TDA. What can you tell us?
Before he even speaks, just look at how TDA is spreading like a cancer all throughout New York. Not just the initial gang in and of itself spreading, but you have now multiple offshoots breaking out throughout the city. And we're just, I guess, not allowed to do anything about it. And let's not also forget the fact too, I don't think they're going to mention it here, but they were all let go. You know, spoiler alert, everybody was released. This is crazy. It's insanity.
Well, yeah, I mean, these people are in the country illegally, and the first thing the police commissioner did up there, she's ordered an internal affairs investigation on it. Did someone call ICE? Because we happen to be at the precinct where some of these people were being processed by happenstance, but all of a sudden now there's a internal affairs investigation. Who called ICE? These people are illegal in the country. We just proved to the commissioner, we proved to the city council that wants to lock us out of Rikers Island, that working with Mayor Adams, we just got done 2 weeks ago, indicted 27 members of TDA through a RICO investigation. 21 are currently in custody. We're looking for 6. These are people who are murder for hire, drug trafficking, sex trafficking, gun trafficking. We took 27 TDA off the street. ICE with the cooperation of NYPD. We showed what our partnership can do, and they're already pulling back now because the commissioner is more concerned with who called ICE than working with ICE to get these people not off the street, out of the country. And like I say, the city council, the same day we're up there bragging about 27 TDA taking off the street, making New York safer. They sued Mayor Adams to keep us out of Rikers Island. So I'll be going to New York tomorrow. This is just another example of sanctuary cities not cooperating with ICE. And look what happened. NYPD officers are attacked. If you're brazen enough to attack an armed law enforcement officer, you're much more dangerous to an unarmed civilian.
Oh.
See, I want to stop right there for a moment. So like I said, you won't believe why. I mistakenly said the police chief is a commissioner. You won't believe why the commissioner is now pulling back on working with ICE. And the reason they're pulling back now on working with ICE is for reasons that defy logic, because somebody within that precinct called ICE. Imagine that. You are, and I'm assuming it was a police officer that did it within the precinct, right? That's just my assumption. I don't know this to be a fact, right? But it's pretty obvious that that's the case. But imagine you being a police officer in New York City, NYPD. You have these illegal immigrant teenage gang members beating up on you. Can't do anything about it. Can't actually really defend yourself in any real way, because no matter how it goes, you're going to be at fault. But you are able to arrest some of them. You're now holding, I think it's about 3 to 4 of them in the precinct. The NYPD so desperately wants to work with ICE to get rid of these little demons that they have to sneak and call, hey, Tom Homan, ICE. Yeah, we have him right now. We have him here. Okay. I gotta go. Bye. That is insane. That is crazy that you have to sneak off. A New York City police officer, an NYPD officer, has to sneak off in the back with their phone and sneak to call ICE to tell them, hey, come pick them up. They're here right now. And that's what the commissioner's mad about. The commissioner of the NYPD is more upset with the fact, and has now launched an investigation to find out who called ICE. They're more upset with ICE showing up to grab these little demons than they are about these illegal immigrant teenagers beating up on NYPD. That's what they're more upset about. Who called ICE? That's crazy. And now they want to pull back the reins of working with them. I mean, the logic of DNC lunatics, it's beyond unbelievable when you're talking about just an unprecedented level of stupidity that comes from these folks. Stupidity and stubbornness. They will allow all of this to occur just to be in defiance of Donald Trump, his administration, and mass deportation. This is truly unbelievable. Let's carry on with this video here.
Oh, no, they'll have a knife at your throat in 2 seconds. What's your message to those 3 illegals? I hate the word migrant, by the way. I don't even want to use it. They're illegal aliens, okay? That's what they are. But
Right.
the 3 of them who are still on the loose, your message to them tonight.
We're coming for them. And these are the type, I want to explain something. These are the type of people that AOC brags while I'm educating people to their constitutional rights. We all know what she's doing. She's educating illegal alien criminals how to invade law enforcement. But you know, now I'm gonna do a little education myself. You don't want to open the door. You don't want to answer a question. You don't want to help us with the travel documents and get you removed. That's a violation of Title 8, United States Code 1253. It is a crime, and we're going to start prosecuting those crimes tomorrow. So if you got a final order and you want to hinder your removal, you want to put roadblocks up and not cooperate, you want to hide, you want to not open the door, then the agent's going to start prosecuting you criminally. Then after you get out of jail from that prosecution, then we'll deport you. Game's over. We're going to look for these public safety threats, and we're going to take them off the streets in New York and every other sanctuary city. As a matter of fact, every sanctuary city, we're going to triple the workforce. We're going to flood the zone with officers. If we can't arrest them in the jail, we'll arrest them in the community. If we can't arrest them in the community, we'll arrest them at their work site. We're going to triple work site enforcement operations. We're going to flood the zone. We're going to take these public safety threats off the streets with your help or without your help.
Now, speaking of AOC, Tom,
I just want to take a moment to look at this here, right? I want to make a full screen because I know this has been small the entire time. I want to blow this up so you can really see the madness that unfolded. Just pay attention, you know, and I'm going to just kind of drag this along a little bit. I'll put Tom Homan on mute, but just look at this here. It's going to start over in a second. All right. So we're watching this unfold. This is the end of it. One of those little demons left on a scooter, you know, if you didn't notice right there in a moment, right? But watch as the video replays. Look at how all of them are rushing the cops. Look at this. Look at this. Zero fear, because they know I'm in a sanctuary city. I'm protected. I'm protected by DNC lunatics. I don't have to worry about, you know, any consequences. Like I said, once again, these are demons, you know, especially concerning that's what they call themselves. These are demons that they did what they did. They assaulted these NYPD officers. And once again, they're released. They're released. ICE showed up because an NYPD officer had to sneak and call ICE out of, I'm sure, sheer frustration and said, hey, man, they're here right now. Come get these a-holes, right? And they were turned away. ICE was turned away. I want to get into this article next to break that down a little bit more. Well, we may come back to this clip to listen to hear what he had to say more about AOC. But I don't want to go too much off topic. I just want to make sure that we stay more on what's going on with this, you know, Los Diablos de 42 in NYC. So let me take this video down and I'm going to pull the article up for you right now. Now, look at this here. This is complete insanity. It just defies all logic. ICE agents turned away from NYPD precinct where migrant teen was held after mob attacks on cops. Tisch says, while blasting local polls for trying to scrap gang database. All right, so let's get into this article here very quickly, and then we're going to shut this down. So the article reads as such: ICE agents showed up at the NYPD precinct where one of the teen migrants busted in the mob attack on two cops in Times Square was being held, but were turned away. Police Commissioner Jessica Tisch said Tuesday. Once again, that last name is rich. Tisch made the revelation during a news briefing where she also slammed the Progressive City Council for trying to scrap the NYPD's gang database, saying it was the reason cops were able to nab several of the suspects so soon after the Friday evening melee. And I quote, "You can't fight organized violence with blindfolds on. And without this tool, we'd lose the edge that keeps our city safe," Tisch said, calling the database one of the most critical tools that we have to protect our cops and to protect our communities. Let me guess, the city council wants to scrap the gang database because somehow it's racist. It's racist somehow. You keeping a notation, in a database of known gang members so we can apprehend them quickly. Some way, somehow, that's racist. I'm pretty sure that's why they want to scrap it. Unbelievable. That is unbelievable. Let's keep going. The article continues to read, that's why it absolutely defies common sense that our city council is looking to abolish this database. She fumed. We need our city council to stop legislating against our cops and start legislating for public safety. And that should include, removing the sanctuary city status within New York so that you guys could actually cooperate with the feds and not turn them away as soon as they show up to the precinct, where an NYPD officer has to call and risk being fired doing so, right? U.S. Immigration and Custom Enforcement showed up unexpectedly at a station house on Sunday, but were told they weren't welcome, Tisch said on Tuesday. Investigators are looking into how the feds were called as local sanctuary city policies bar the NYPD from cooperating with ICE on civil immigration enforcement. We are also aware that ICE was at one of our precincts Sunday morning, and while we are looking into how they got there, who cares how they got there? This is so stupid. Jesus, it's very upsetting when you read this stuff because it's just idiotic. This stuff is just idiotic. Anyways, I'll take it from the top. My apologies. We are also aware that ICE was at one of the precincts Sunday morning. And while we are looking into how they got there, I want to stress that our officers follow procedures outlined in our January directives, Tisch said during a press briefing with other NYPD officials. I was surprised that ICE was at the precinct because ICE shows up to do civil immigration enforcement, she said. Police did not turn the person over to agents at the time, which is complete insanity. The January 18th directive gave NYPD cops the green light to cooperate with the feds in criminal investigations, but drew the line in helping ICE in civil matters like deportation proceedings. But how is this not criminal? That's what doesn't make sense to me. Since when is attacking police officers not criminal? This is not a civil matter of a deportation process. This was criminal. That's 100% what this is. So are we saying that now, at least if you're an illegal immigrant, if you attack the police, that's no longer a matter of criminality? It's not a criminal issue now. I don't get it. It doesn't make any sense. But we are talking about a sanctuary city. We are talking about a blue city. We are speaking about DNC lunatics. I mean, they bend and twist the truth at any and every cost to justify their lunacy. This is a criminal matter, and they should have been turned over to ICE. But instead, they weren't turned over to ICE and just released back out to the public for ICE to catch them if they can. Unbelievable, man. Unbelievable. Anyways, that's going to do it for today's news. So we'll see how this unfolds. We'll see if Tom Homan and them are able to catch up to these kids. I'm pretty sure they will, because they're all really good at doing this kind of stuff and just nabbing folks. But I'll keep you guys posted. So anyways, that's going to do it for today's news. Thank you guys for joining me today. Please hit the like button on your way out. Subscribe to the channel if you're new to the channel. Share this video on your social media platforms. And also do not forget to follow me on Telegram at TD Media Group. The link to my Telegram is in the description box below and pinned in the comment section as well. Thank you all for your time. Until the next video, peace and have a great afternoon.